This exercise is called the lacrosse ball release. So for this exercise, you'll need a lacrosse ball and you'll place it on the floor as we will begin with the hips. So right here, the whole principle or the purpose of this exercise ball release or lacrosse ball release is to find areas in your body that are tight, that perhaps you didn't even know were tight. And so you begin just by rolling the ball along the length of the muscle all the way through, just bordering the bone of the sacrum, and then coming through to where the hamstring inserts onto the sit bone. And you just go and explore all those areas, checking to see if you maybe find a trigger point or an area of tension. If you do, you just hold that area and you just lay flat on that area. And you might want to try moving the leg up and down on that area of tension. You may want to try lifting the leg up. You may want to try rotating the leg. Okay, you can try all kinds of movements to see if that helps dissolve that trigger point. And just focus on the breathing. Make sure you take those deep breaths in and out. And just sending the proper messages to the brain that it's okay to let go of that tension or that tight band of muscles. Once you feel that the level of pain, typically you don't want anything more than a 5 out of 10 pain, and you're trying to dissolve it down to at least a 2 before you move on and then continue to explore elsewhere. As you shift over to the side of your body, because we want to make sure we get that whole length of the leg down to the knee, you just roll along the side of that IT band, and again just go and have a look and see if there's anything there that seems problematic. If not, you just continue exploring. You now cross the leg over, and then you find your way into the front of your body. And here you're just looking in through the quad muscle, the thigh muscle, and you're just going to explore all those areas that might be tight. Naturally, you're going to do the same thing on the other leg. For the calf, you're just going to place the ball here, and you're just going to roll up and down the length of the calf. Again, just exploring to see if there's any trigger points through there. Okay? Turn the foot out slightly to get the side of the muscle, or turn that slightly in to get the inside. You can do the same right up into the back of the knee, just a little bit more gently. Okay? And then right into that hamstring, and just rolling everything out through there. You can't forget the abdomen. So for the abdomen, you are bringing that lacrosse ball basically just on the inside of the ribs, all the way down, right through to the inside of the hip, and then all the way to the pubic bone, all the way across the other hip, up, and then just around the base of the rib cage, right across. You can go right up and down along the six-pack muscle, but the idea, again, remember, is to explore. So I usually start in the left hip, and I just place that ball, and I just allow it to sink right into that left hip, and just try and see, is there any tension in that area? I roll out to the side a little bit, just along the top of the iliac crest or the hip bone, and then I come back down. I make my way into the pubic bone, and I just ease off a little bit of pressure as I travel over to the other side. And then once I get to the other side, same thing holds true. I'm just looking and exploring all over, checking to see if there's any areas of tension. If I find any, I just stay there and I breathe, take a deep breath into it, and then let it out. And just wait. There's no rush. It's not a race. You're literally trying to let any trigger points or areas of tension you find dissolve underneath the ball. Okay? And then make my way up the ascending colon, right into the area of the liver just below the ribs, and just rolling in through that area, seeing if I find anything. If not, I continue on And as I travel to the middle, right where the windpipe is, just underneath the sternum, I can ease off a little bit of pressure there because that might make you feel a little nauseous. And then you just make your way over to the other side, spleen, stomach region, and down the descending colon back to the beginning. Okay? And you can do that 10 times, especially if you have any issues with constipation or indigestion. This is a great way to get the colon stimulated and food moving through that system. Now, the mid-back, here again, you're going to play on either side of the spine. So you lie with the ball just off to the one side of the spine, and you're going to just let that ball roll in through that mid-back region, up and down. You're kind of twisting your body, almost like you're doing a side crunch to get through there. And notice my arm is over my head as I'm trying to open up that area of the body. And if I happen to find any areas of tension, I'm going to move my arm just like I suggested with the leg, and I'm going to try and move it across the body, see if I can loosen anything up or find anything as I'm working through the shoulder region. Also, you can do the lower back. Okay, so you just place it again off to the side along the muscles that make up the length of the spine, and through here, you're just going to roll up and down that area there, and you're going to try and find areas that are tight. And again, if you do, just stay there, breathe into it, and let it go. Again, take your time with this. It's not a race, this is just a video. I'm just showing you the different body parts that I want you to explore, and you have to take your time with this and allow your body to let go, and that's nothing that can be done quickly, okay? Don't forget the QL, so you're gonna wanna come to the side of the body a little bit and just explore in this area here. If you find some tension, you can try moving the legs, you can try having your hands out by your side, dropping the legs to one side, try maybe dropping to the other side. Just see if you find anything. Bringing one knee into the chest and stretching through here, that'll increase that amount of tension that you're placing on that area. You can try the opposite as well. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Okay? And then naturally you switch to the other side, doing the exact same thing. And you might find that when you put the ball on the opposite side of the spine, what once appeared to be difficult, so if this was kind of pinching in the groin region, when you put the ball in your spine on the same side, it now might all of a sudden just open it up and now no longer have that pinching sensation. So this is a really, really good technique to get some more mobility through those hip flexors because they do insert onto the spine. And again, just going around and exploring every inch of your body, and you might find that you become quite surprised with what you find. You may have pain in your knee, and then all of a sudden you feel it in your hip when you're exploring with the lacrosse ball, right? So loosening off structures that are tight through here could help alleviate some knee pain, okay? And so you just continue doing that all the way across, not forgetting to do the shoulder. Okay, remember the shoulder, when you get in between that shoulder blade and the spine, you've got to really think about doing that side crunch technique with the arm overhead to open everything up, and you're just kind of rolling around on that ball, checking to see what kind of tension is existing in through there, and then you can go all the way out to the back of the shoulder area too and just see, is there anything out there in that shoulder joint that feels a little bit tight? And then here you can move the arms in this kind of rotation fashion, okay? And then again, you can move it across the body and just go and explore. Then we've got the chest wall in here. You're just gonna basically place it on that chest wall, and you're just going to have your hand out and just start exploring in through there and see if there might be any tension in through that area of your body. And then naturally the other side, just go and find anything that might be tight in through there. Just rolling side to side. The other one you can do is from a sideline position here, and you can get right into the lat muscle, okay? And you can just roll right off to that side and pull the arm over while it's right in that joint. Okay. Getting some placement of that is just here, right in there on the side, and you just go and find that area of tension. If you find it, just hold it and let it dissolve. This is going to be a very tender spot, okay? Just because the lats tend to be very tight. They're internal rotators, and we tend to sit like this all day long, so when you go and open them up, it tends to be a very tender area. Okay, and my favorite, especially if you're standing on your feet all day long, and it's just a nice way to relax the pelvic floor, because we know that there's an immediate connection to the foot and the pelvic floor in the brain. So here you're just going to roll on the ball and apply the appropriate amount of pressure that you feel. That 5 out of 10 discomfort, when you find that spot, just kind of hold it. Maybe splay your toes apart and then relax. Splay the toes apart, relax, and just work through that entire area. You can also transfer the load to the little toe. You don't need to just stay in the arch. You can go right to the end of the toes in the joint region. And again, just going, exploring through the heel. Okay, and there is your full body release. Enjoy.